Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just
speaking into the void?
But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Whether you bond over streaming binge-worthy videos, watching sports recaps, video gaming, or by unplugging altogether, the 2026 Lincoln Nautilus Hybrid helps keep you connected throughout your journey. Learn more at Lincoln.com. Available connectivity features and functionality vary by model. Package pricing, trials, and term lengths vary by model. Video streaming and games are only available while parked.
Welcome to the Dr. Raj Podcast. Today's episode features Everyday Rheum, a guest series hosted by Dr. Michelle Koolaee. She is a board-certified rheumatologist with a direct care practice in Pasadena, California. She trained at the University of Pennsylvania and serves as faculty and educator at Huntington Hospital, an affiliate of Cedars-Sinai. Inspired by the conversations she has with her clients every day, this series brings practical insights in rheumatology to patients and the medical community alike. And now, here's today's episode.
Hi, and welcome to Everyday Rheum, a guest series on the Dr. Raj podcast. This podcast is inspired by the real conversations I have with clients every day. Our goal is to bring you knowledge, support, and encouragement to help you manage your rheumatology needs with confidence. Today's conversation is inspired by my recent conversations and observation of Mason, who is a 22-year-old client in my practice recently diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Now, we often think of arthritis as affecting older adults, but that's not always the case. Mason has been very accepting and resilient in navigating this new diagnosis, and I'm truly impressed by how he's handled the changes in his life. And I hope this story will inspire and encourage others who are facing a new diagnosis. Mason, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. Good.
Of course. Yeah, good to be here.
Thanks. So, Mason, first, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 22 years old. I grew up in California. I love sports. I'm going to PCC college right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just a normal 22-year-old. Love hanging out with friends. Love my family. Just going through the motions.
And so, what does a typical day look like for you?
I work 4 times a week, so I normally work, but if I'm not working, I'm either hanging out with my family or my girlfriend or working out, trying to get better.
Okay, excellent. So let's talk about when you were first diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. What was your initial reaction?
That was August,
Over the summer.
I think. I think it was August. Yeah. I think because the months leading up to it, I kind of did my own research and I thought that's what I had. And I wasn't like as in shock, but I was kind of like, okay, it's like a real thing now. And now I need to take the steps to like making it better for me because it can get better.
Okay. So even when you were first doing your research, like earlier on in the summer, because you must have noticed like the swelling in your hands and like, was there a point where you automatically like, okay, I need to go in, I need to get this treated? Or was there a part of you that thought differently, like at the beginning?
At first, I was definitely in a little denial and I was kind of like, oh, it's just achy. I hit my hand or I'm just a little achy. And then it just progressively got worse and it didn't go away. And I was like, yeah, like a month before I came to see you, I was like, yeah, I need to get this like checked out. And then in the weeks leading up to it, it just got worse and worse. So yeah.
Okay. And so because when I first met you, and I see a lot of people with arthritis, that it was like, I could tell you were kind of just ready. You were ready to like whatever treatment was necessary, you were on board and you were you were very open-minded.
Yeah, I was kind of at that point where it was just too painful, like without any meds or anything. It was like an Advil helped for a couple hours. And then at the end of the night, like it just, my knees ache, the hands ache, the elbows ache. So I was kind of just ready to take it on, you know?
Yeah. Now, and I would say that like not everybody recognizes that too. So, like I just saw someone that's pretty young also like last week. And I think that like she has some other symptoms. It's not just arthritis, but
Yeah.
also like the fatigue too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that it was instead of because there was such a fear of the medication, which I know we'll talk about in a moment,
Yeah.
that like and this is not a right or wrong, it is just like it is a lot processing this information. Some people go down the path of like, what do I need to do not to be on medicine? And
Yeah.
so she kind of halted her life in so many ways and just kind of stopped doing things, stopped going out. Like it's,
Yeah.
and so what empowered you to be the opposite in that way?
I didn't want to let it take, because there were so many times I was just laying in bed and I was like, oh, like I can't go play basketball like I used to. Like a year ago, I could just get up and go shoot hoops and my hands will hurt, so I can't really shoot. But then you gotta think about it, like you can get better, and you can still maintain the lifestyle that you lived before you were diagnosed with it, as you told me when I first saw you.
So I think and so how about like, so as we transition, so like you're in the office, you're diagnosed. Again, like I will always say like just how being open-minded as you are, for me, I
Yeah.
think that is people that truly like improve their health and their arthritis are people that just go in
Yeah.
with an open mind like you. But let's talk about medications. So like
Yeah.
many people find that the idea of starting medications for RA is just very stressful. How did that feel like for you when it was suggested, and how are you coping with it now?
At the start, it was a little keeping track of everything and taking pills every day. I wasn't used to that because I never did that. But now it's just part of my routine, and it's just something I got to do. So it's really, I've really, the first couple weeks, it was a little weird. Like I was forgetting on Tuesday, I forgetting to take all my 6 pills. And then I was like, oh, like I fell behind, but it's gotten better recently
Mm-hmm.
as I build the schedule and stuff.
And so did you feel again, like, because I know that some other people going through the same experience, I
Yeah.
want them to learn from you and to kind of be inside your mind. And like some people think of, okay, the idea of being on medication, and this is young and old. It's
Yeah.
like an age thing that like, and this is that they're so reluctant to be on meds, just like
Hmm.
that, hearing that being on meds, they just are like so scared of side effects that it actually like limits them from obtaining treatment that could potentially help them. So like how did that did you ever think about that like in that way, or what were
Not really. I kind of trusted the science behind it, and I trusted everything that came with it, and that if I were to keep up with it and maintain my body and eat somewhat healthier to maintain that stuff, but
Mhm,
also just do the meds, I thought it was worth a shot. It
mhm,
was a little daunting at first because I've never done meds in my life like that before, but I
mhm.
feel like it's really, really helped for sure.
How long do you feel like it took you to kind of just like to really be comfortable and get into a routine of taking medication?
I'd say after our second visit and
Mhm,
my second blood test, that's when
mhm.
I kind of like just got in a routine, and I was like, okay, this is normal. Like for
Okay.
me, like this isn't really anything. It's helping me. Like I can feel the progression every day. Like it's helping.
So for other people that are listening that are kind of
Yeah.
very early, that it is possible, and based on what you've seen in your experience, so like a couple of months, just
Yeah.
you got into the routine, and now
Yeah.
these are new normals for you, and it is
100%.
kind of okay. It's good. It's good to know that, and it's good again for people to know that sometimes when you're kind of in the weeds and you're
Yeah.
like going through it,
Yeah.
it is just you don't know, even if yeah, it's like it's important to hear it from other people that have just
I, I
uh,
totally agree.
yeah.
It helps that I also have I have 2 people in my life with the same thing. So it also helps that I had them kind of to support me along the way.
So who's your support system?
I have a closer one who's my aunt. She's 75. She's had it her whole life since she was like 20 something, and she's 75 now. So she was telling me about all this stuff, all the remedies, blueberries, and all the stuff she does to make it better. And then I also have a coworker who has it in her shoulders,
Mhm,
mainly in her shoulders. So that was kind of just talking to them about it, and like having someone else in that space besides you. It was
mhm.
nice to have, and it definitely helped.
So was that a big part, really important for you as you were navigating?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Because I kind of felt isolated. I
Mhm.
was 21 when I got diagnosed. I recently turned 22. So I was kind of like, dang, like 21, like it hurts to like pick up some things. Like I'm not like everyone else, but like, no, I am. It just
Mhm.
need a little work.
Yeah. And so, and speaking of just challenges, so what was the most challenging aspects of receiving a new diagnosis, and how did
Yeah.
you navigate through it emotionally?
Just talking to all my loved ones, my girlfriend, my aunt, my mom, my dad, my family. But it was pretty challenging. Like I said, I kind of braced for impact a little bit like a month
Mhm.
before because I had a feeling that's what it was. So it wasn't as shocking, but it still took me a week, and the fatigue's a real thing. Like
Mhm.
you sometimes don't want to do things for days if you have a swell up or something like that.
Mhm. And so I'm glad that you mentioned the fatigue, because this comes up a lot in other people that I talk to.
Yeah.
And I think that for some people it can be, and it is a source of stress of, okay, it's fatigue is an invisible symptom, but it's one of the most disruptive
Yeah.
and most really like bothersome symptoms of any chronic inflammatory disease.
Yeah.
And so how has that process been for you, just in terms of like the fatigue part, like, telling people, plans are changing, or like these,
Yeah.
like, how have you navigated that? How's that been for you?
It's been pretty good. My friends are really understanding, and I've been friends with them forever, so it hasn't been a real big thing for me. But
Hmm.
I can definitely, when I wake up to go to work, and it's definitely like if I have a long day before that, and I'm having somewhat of an inflammation buildup, it definitely is harder to get out of bed because your body just feels so beat up.
Hmm. And so I think, and I keep hearing, and I think that this is great that you have a really positive support circle,
Yeah,
and that's been really important for you.
I'd say yeah, one of the most important. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think too, like, it's, you can't go through this alone. I
yeah,
think that it's, some people do, again, just don't. I see the difference in people that have support and the people that don't have support. And
yeah,
I think it really makes a big difference. And I think too, one thing to mention is that sometimes, like, people are going to get it, and sometimes people aren't.
yeah,
And it's not one's job. You don't have to explain to somebody,
yeah,
like, why you can't do XYZ.
yeah, yeah,
People that love you, and they'll
yeah,
support you no matter what.
yeah,
You had conversations too where people are like, I think, like, because you really have to prioritize your health. Your health is the most important.
yeah,
And if it means kind of not having certain people in your circle that aren't going to support you
yeah.
and uplift you, then that's sometimes what it takes.
I agree.
Right? I mean, what are your
Uh,
thoughts as far as that?
I think yeah, I think having the right people in your support group is top three. It was top three for me for sure. It
Mm-hmm.
was medicine, it was family and support, and then it was just taking care of yourself, like you said, like doing the workouts because getting stronger means it makes it better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, no. So let's talk about your daily life. I know you mentioned it a little bit earlier.
yeah.
Were there some changes that you had to make, and how is your diagnosis affected routines or daily activities?
Yeah. I mean, not really. I still go to work. I still do the same things. I guess I don't. I used to play sports a lot more, but
Mhm.
I don't really go play basketball that much. But I feel like more recently, I feel like I could. But I feel like yeah, definitely. I stopped playing sports for a while.
Mhm.
I stopped working out for a while.
Mhm.
I stopped eating. I love hamburgers. I stopped eating red meat, or just
Mhm.
cut down on red meat because I couldn't quit.
Mhm.
But yeah, just small little things, nothing too drastic. So I was freaking out, but just
Mhm.
small things there and there. They're like, ah, I can't really do that today.
Yeah, and I think that that it's important to know, because I get this question a lot, that
Yeah.
if I have arthritis, should I exercise? Can I exercise?
Yeah.
And the answer is always yes.
Yes.
And I think it's the having the mentality of like continuing to move,
Yeah.
but you just have to be really kind to your body and really listen to your body.
Yeah.
And that if it feels good and your whatever activity you're doing and it's not hurting, then keep doing it.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like really being in tune and knowing your body.
100%. That's
Right?
kind of, yeah, that's kind of also what I'm learning. I haven't had it for that long, so I'm still in the learning baby steps process, but I'm starting to focus on when my body is telling me to go and do this or not do that, you know?
And for listeners, Mason does, are you still doing like 15,000 steps a day?
Yeah,
Okay.
when did I work last? What day is it today? I worked 2 days ago and I think I had 24,000 steps.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think it is just, and how did you feel?
My feet hurt, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's going to happen with anyone after 24,000 steps.
Yeah.
It was good. I was in a
Mm-hmm.
good mood.
And I think last time we spoke, you're also like gonna do some strength training and go back
Yeah,
into doing that. How is it?
I've been doing resistance bands training for since I last saw you, so a month now ago,
Nice.
and I've been doing not running, but we have a pool, so I've been swimming for
Nice.
cardio.
Okay, that's really good. I think that
Yeah,
I think that like for everybody as we navigate through life, that our exercise routines for various different reasons might
yeah,
change. And I think it's being really flexible with that as you have
hmm
is
yeah,
really important because I think the bottom line is that as long as you're moving
hmm
and you have some consistency and you have some strength training and you have some cardio,
yeah,
it's really about the consistency. And I think that
for
that's
sure.
where I think it's also important for people to know is that it's not like a black and white thing.
Yeah,
It is about really just do what feels comfortable and give yourself credit
yeah,
for what you can do versus kind of marinating on like kind of how things were before, what you could
yeah,
like
yeah. What you
again,
could do before, yeah,
it's important to stay in a healthy mindset. So speaking of which, so like what coping strategies or practices have helped you maintain a positive outlook? You have a really positive outlook.
I don't. I just the fact that I'm going to be getting better every day,
Hmm.
and that I can get better and go back to my somewhat daily life that I was used to before, which I'm already at, but you can get even better. I just think that mentality of just every day you get better, every day you get better. I think that's what's keeping me positive and keeping me going.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much because it's also, it's like looking at it. I like your perspective where it's
Yeah,
day to day. It's not thinking about like, because again, I see so many people, different approaches.
viral and
Yeah, or like
yeah,
thinking of, okay, I need to be this way ASAP. I need to be going playing basketball. I need to be doing, and
yeah,
it's about like, but listen to your body and
hmm
it's about you will make progress if you just stay consistent and you show up for yourself daily.
yeah,
Really.
100%. I agree.
Yeah. So, what advice for people that are listening that are newly diagnosed, that especially younger people that might feel isolated or overwhelmed at
Yeah.
this point, like what advice would you give for them, Mason?
You're never alone. There's always someone out there going through the same thing as you or something worse. So, I mean, it's always good to reach out if you're isolated. Um, and I'd say day by day, just keep focusing on yourself and getting better. Like you said it best. I don't just working every day, making sure your body's okay with what you're doing and not pushing yourself. And they go back to the support group thing and not having friends out who are gonna badger you and say blah blah this, all you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. Because there are people like that.
There are, no, I think that your advice is really powerful, and I think that it really, I think it's going to really resonate with people that can relate to you and that are again going through the same thing. And just to parlay on what you said as far as
Yeah.
like other people and what they think, it's unbelievable to me sometimes how heavy that weight is of like
hmm
having to explain yourself and your
Yeah.
symptoms and even, and I think it is like you don't have to, you
Yeah.
know,
I agree.
like I'm not feeling it. I don't feel like I'm not feeling well.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you could just keep it simple. You don't have to
Yeah.
explain the details. You don't owe that to anybody.
To anyone that you don't want to give it to. I mean,
Mhm.
if you give that energy to someone who doesn't want to give it back to you, that I don't see a point in even telling them,
Mhm.
honestly.
Yeah. It's what
Like,
Mhm.
or like you should just find the right. I feel like support groups so important. I've said it so many times, but
Mhm.
find the right people that really care about you, and
Mhm.
I think that's a really good thing.
I think that's great advice. Great advice. So, looking ahead, Mason,
Yeah.
how do you stay motivated and hopeful for the future? And what would you like others with RA to take away from your story?
Uh, then you could still do anything. Like I'm still going to school to be a fireman or something in the fire service, fire investigator.
Mhm.
And I bet, and when I first got diagnosed, I was like, oh, well, there goes that. Like I'm not even going to try it. But
Mhm.
as the weeks went on and the month went on, I was like, you know what, I can still do this. Like
Mhm.
you can still be what you want to be. You can still do what you want to do. It just, you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, no, what excellent advice. And to mention as well that with rheumatoid arthritis, there are such good treatments now.
Yeah.
I mean, really, we have so much to offer.
Yeah.
People, most everybody with RA has healthy, active, productive lives.
Yeah.
I think that the important points from a rheumatology perspective is number one, know your body. That's the
hmm
most important. And number two is to seek care early. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Is to seek care early, and really, again, just showing up for yourself daily. It is there's doesn't need to be perfect for there to be progress, but it's the commitment,
Yeah.
the consistency that
100%.
be the most successful for anybody with any chronic inflammatory condition.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what I've seen so far.
Well, thank you so much, Mason, for being here today. Thank you for sharing your story.
Of course.
And it's really, I know because I talked to so many people, I know it's gonna uplift them and really help them out. So appreciate it so much.
Of course. Yeah, I hope so. I hope I did some helping.
For sure. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Dr. Raj Podcast. If you enjoy the show, then please make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app and leave a rating while you're there. This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. This has been a production of MedPrep2Go, and you can learn more at medprep2go.com.